You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
And welcome to South Florida's #1 heritage gospel station, AM 1490 WMBM Radio. And you are online live if you're online. And if you're on the AM dial, you're still alive with Brotherhood Talk Worldwide. Another beautiful, beautiful segment today. And look, I just got to let you know, first of all, number one, if you a daddy, if you a father figure. Number two, if you a mommy without a daddy, a father figure, you better get them individuals to listen in right now. There's many ways you can join us today. You can go to Facebook if you like. Again, South Florida's #1 heritage gospel station, 1490 WMBM. You can also go to WMBM Radio on Instagram, and you can go to the World Wide Web, WMBM.com. No excuse for not turning in for this beautiful program we have today. And we always like to give a shout out and thank our beloved brother Bishop Victor T. Curry, President and General Manager of this great, great, great station. So I know, family, I know it's Father's Day is approaching. And what do we look like being the circle of brotherhood and not doing an informational, inspirational, real-time session on fatherhood? But you all know we come a little bit different around here. And so I'm going to give you a minute or two at the most. This message, and before I introduce my special guest, because we're not talking about ordinary fathers. We're talking about men that belong to the community. We're talking about men that belong to the struggle of our people. We're talking about men that have decided and made decisions in our lives that we're not only going to live for our own children, we're going to live for the children of our world and our community. And so to start us off, before I introduce and bring my brother on, because he's one of those kind of brothers. Now, I got a song. Well, it's not really a song. It's a word from, let me see how smart you all are. Does the name Don L. Lee ring a bell? Probably not to some of you, but how about Hakeem Madhubuti? I'm recommending to you today a book by Hakeem Madhubuti called Black Men, Single, Obsolete, and Dangerous. But he talks about the kind of fathers we want to talk about today. And as we get ready to play this segment for you, I want you to think about the kind of men that are needed in our community. And I want you to think about a brother by the name of Blaze Carter, yes, Santonio Carter, because he's going to be joining me, but he's one of these kind of brothers. At WMBM, but welcome to Brotherhood Worldwide.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for having me. Much love to WMBM. And we hear in that piece that you played to hear all those words and the caliber of a man that they was describing. And for you to bring me on the realm of that, it just, I'm stuck in awe. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because that's a different caliber of man.
That's
and
a
for you to
different
identify and recognize that I got those traits and characteristics within myself is just like, oh, thank you, brother.
Well, by his grace, and I got not just good eyesight, I got God eyesight.
Say that. Say that.
And so I know what I'm looking at, and then we always have to take a pause in time, because again, this mission is not easy, brother. And
Right.
they're always at different times in this mission, new people being introduced to it.
Right.
So introduce, first of all, Santonio Carter to the listening audience, and then introduce the King Carter Foundation to the listening audience, brother.
Okay, I'm Santonio Carter, born and raised in Miami, Florida. Shirley Kennedy, Vincent Carter. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a man. I'm a family man. I'm a good neighbor. I'm a good son, good brother. Like I'm a great father. Like father is one of the best name of the names that I carry. However, the know me is the know me. Whenever you met me, you still know me. Ain't nothing changed but my light bill. It's up and down. But ain't nothing changed by that. My number's still the same. My friends, my wife's still the same. Everything's still the same. However, the King Carter Foundation was started February 20th, 2016, unfortunately, when my son was killed during the drive-by at 6 years old. But however, before then, we've been pouring out into the community with the book bag drives, the back to school, the Easter egg hunts, the every 2 weeks I was throwing a function in my community, the ghetto, the hood, whatever they want to nickname it. So my son been seeing us pour into the community and how much they appreciate the giving. You understand what I'm saying? So after his transition, when he met Glory, I would have felt robbery not to keep the mission going on. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't named the King Carter Youth Foundation in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It was just a mission that we was on as family. However, when he transitioned, we just put his name with it to keep his name going. We done open schools inside the school system. We doing a lot behind the King Carter Youth Foundation. We visit all the juvenile detention centers, Boys and Girls Club, YMCAs, foster homes. We'll come to your home, job corps. Like, we everywhere with it. Boots on the ground all the way around the clock. Shouts out to my wife.
Beautiful. Now, as you all heard that, I just want you to think about it, and I want to put an image in your head for a minute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put two images in their head, Blaze. The first image is I want you to look in your mind at the decimation of our community and our people. I want you to see it where you live. Now I want you to multiply it by every state and every city and every continent that our people are on, how destructive. I'm talking about for those of you who care about those of us on the bottom. The rest of y'all will have another conversation about that later. But as you think about how lowly some of our people are living in the conditions, I want you to imagine this second picture. If we had 10,000 more Santonio Carters.
Oh, man.
If we had 10,000 more, and there's only one way to get more, and that's for you to become a man of the community. And so when we talk about Father's Day, you can't be a black man in America. And let me say this for the record, if you're a black man in America, and since it is Black Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, sir.
So here's a public service announcement from Brother Lai Muhammad, the Executive Director of the Circle of Brotherhood. If you are a black man in America, and you believe that you are not suffering from trauma, mental anguish and stress, and post-slavery
yes, sir.
Addictions, then you are truly insane. So the rest of us, we already know we're insane. So now that we got that out the way, dear brother, we can't be brothers and talk about Father's Day without, first of all, we got to share the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes, sir.
And I do the same, in terms of, look, most of us don't always come from the most precious fatherhood backgrounds. And as I sit here right now, my mother had me when she was 16. I had a brother by the time she was 17. I had a sister by the time she was 18. And at the time, father wasn't around, wasn't on the scene. But just to post update, your brother's going to be turning 60 in a minute and show you how things turn around. My family's having a 60-80 celebration for myself and my father. Things do change,
Wow.
Is my point. But what about you in terms of you coming up in terms of father or father figure?
I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood where I had my father around the early beginnings of my life, but due to, society, him and my mother broke up. And the next time I seen my father, it was at my grandma's house. And I remember that day vividly because we took him to Jackson Memorial Hospital. That's the day we found out he was HIV positive. Mm-hmm. My mama drove. I was in me and him sat in the back seat. My mama was driving. She didn't look at my father till 12 years later after that day. Even when she dropped me and him off to the hospital, she never seen him. Mm-hmm. She just was crying, saying, he looked that bad? And I said, Mom, please don't look at him. Mm-hmm. My dad hair was straight, lips was pink, face was sucking in. Mm-hmm. I said, Mom, don't look at him. Mm-hmm. My little brother was killed on Father's Day, born on Mother's Day. He was killed on Father's Day at 14 years old. My dad was in intensive care at this time. Mm-hmm. He didn't find out his baby boy was killed till a year and a half later. You understand what I'm saying? So my father died January 3rd, 2020, due to COVID. He was HIV positive, but he was on the phone sounding so weak and said, Tony, I never felt like this. There's something else going on. He was talking about the COVID. It wasn't even called COVID-19 at the time.
How about that?
January 3rd, it wasn't called COVID. It came like probably March. They had that name on it. But my father passed away, and when he was absent from the crib, I looked up to the dope boys, some crooked pastors, some corner store owners, some teachers, some PE teachers, some football coaches, and that shaped me to become who I am today. And my father always told me, don't end up doing what I do. I had a raw black daddy, raw. All the ladies liked him. However, he was thinking with his other head, and he ended up facing some real bad results for that. And I seen my daddy go through that, and like just to see him go through that, I'm like, damn. I always got to be up for my kids. It shaped me in a way that I never go to jail. I always think with my head, you understand, with my brain, with my mind, and don't fall victim to mental side. We programmed to just fall bad to the weak side, especially as men, man. Like we can't cry, we can't show our emotional, effective side, and that's not me.
Beautiful, beautiful children on excursions.
Yes, sir.
To zoos, to science places, but the look in those babies' eyes, man. I know a look in the baby's eye when I see it.
Yes, sir.
And what you all are doing is powerful. So talk about, first of all, some of the community work that you all are doing. And I know you got an event that's coming up soon as well, too.
Yes, sir. With the King Carter Youth Foundation, right, we got 2 summer camps. We got a summer camp from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I just left here. I just left my wife there. They getting it on right now. We did a little field day today. We doing a script. We gonna shoot a movie. We gonna shoot a 40-minute movie. We into agriculture, aviation. We into mentorship, audio engineering, video engineering, clothing designs, anything that's within these kids' niche. We help them find their niche and just maximize it to the most.
How many youth are y'all touching, brother?
Right now, I just left. We had 107 kids.
107. And where do they come from, brother?
They come from all over South Florida. We got 107 in the day camp, and we got 102 in the night camp.
Let me ask you this. Do you have enough support?
No, sir.
Okay, so on that note, brothers and sisters, as you're tuned in and you're listening right now, our brother is doing awesome work. How can folk reach out to support? I'm talking about with resources and with finances.
Yes, sir.
To support the great mission of the King Carter Foundation.
I mean, like I say, I am the same. I'm the same person. The number's still the same. The address is still the same. The mission's still the same. You feel what I'm saying? If you simply want to support.
If you Google King Carter Foundation,
Yeah, you Google the King Carter Youth Foundation, everything will pop up. The number 239-200-4977. If you want to make a financial donation, if you just want to come talk to the kids,
come on.
If you want to donate some water, whatever. If you just want to simply stop by and pray for the village, like pray for the flock, all that support to carry us a long way. Because I know when people just go and move our pride, God will provide. Even if, you understand what I'm saying? God will provide at the end of the day.
So let me ask you this, since we're talking about fatherhood and you are in tune, you're working with our youth of today. Tell me what's the same in terms of maybe when we came up, and what do you see that's different right now in terms of the effects of our children, or in terms of fatherhood in general? What are you seeing?
The same thing when I was young and these kids was young is brokenness. It's young brokenness. As youth, we be broken and we can't lean to our peers who to get full understanding of that. And you know what I'm saying? Back then, we had the village. You had an uncle next door. Like, you had the dude who washed cars or the dude who fixed cars. You could simply just holler at him and he'll shape you up in a way that you couldn't get out your household. Nowadays, you got uncles 14 and 15 years old, grandmother's 35. The village ain't the same. Everybody younger. Everybody still want to party and live in that camaraderie of just fulfillment of enjoying themselves in a selfish way. And I mean, you can't knock it, but you can knock it. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody younger, and they ain't reaching back. They ain't reaching back to make the village a village. Back then, when I was growing up, you had that. The neighbor could beat me, and my mama wouldn't say nothing. Like nowadays, your parents can't even beat you.
How about that? So we got a lot of work to do, family. And speaking of a lot of work, dear brother, men, let's just say, who are biological fathers but have not stepped up to the plate. I want to use the word yet.
Yes.
Men who have not stepped up to the plate to be community men. I want to use the word again, yet. What keeps you motivated and moving, and what encouraging word can you tell these brothers who are out here, who might got the mentality, because some of these brothers, they like, look, I ain't bothering nobody, I'm taking care of my own. What kind of word you got for them?
I mean, just to be unselfish. Like, you can't be selfish. You gotta listen to these kids, listen to the stories, the trials, the tribulations, the shortcomings. Some stories will break your heart. I mean, my story of me and my family and our tragedy went worldwide. However, you ever sat with a 6-year-old who been getting molested by his father? You ever sat with a 12-year-old who been cutting her wrist since she was 9 years old because her biological father been, like, it's some things going on under the sun that people can't even fathom if you don't sit down and listen to somebody if this their reality. This just ain't no movie. This ain't no fairy tales or no makeup. These are young kids' reality. And so if you notice a kid reality, it'll tighten you up and it'll sharpen your mission. You'll tighten you. She got a father, of course. 4 daughters. He never claimed them. My wife was born in 86. He took the blood test in 86. You been know this was your daughter. We about to be 40 this year. You still ain't never do nothing. You write me on Facebook. How y'all doing? I'm like, we doing straight. So I inbox you. I'm like, yo, Mr. Russell, my father passed away. So my children still deserve some granddaddy in their life. Woo. You understand what I'm saying? I say, so even though you did them wrong, even if you come down here and you financially distress or anything, I will pay for it all. Wherever you go, wherever you want to take them, I give you that and I pass it in the back. My wife wouldn't even know I gave you the money. She'd just think my daddy finally manning up doing a good deed. So I'm saying, take them. He never replied back. I see him at one of the older daughters' son. So I see him, I said, what's up? He's like, what's up? You straight? I'm a Russell beating on his chest. You keep writing me talking about your kids. I say, hold up. These ain't your grandkids?
Ooh, uh-oh.
I say, you keep saying my kids. These are not your grandkids? He couldn't even say nothing, just making the loud run, and I honestly got so hot I wanted to do something to him, big bro.
Right.
Just all off the script of, come on, man.
See, that point right there, you know, when you describe what he was going through.
Yes, sir.
Brother man was dealing with his own self-inflicted pain, self-inflicted trauma. But what froze him, brother, was the truth that you spoke. And you said something so key, brother. You know, these are your grandkids.
And he said I disrespected him. I say, let me go back to the text. Because if I disrespected my wife, father, I'm finna apologize right now. Right. He like, oh, you gonna do it. I say, I ain't gonna do nothing. Right. I'm finna get to the text. Like I say, if I feel, if you can show me I disrespect you, I owe you an apology.
Now, pause right there, because I know I got some brothers out there that ain't ready for that. Brothers, stop tripping, man. If we out of order, we got to correct ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Got some of my homeboys out there who know they ain't ready for that yet. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give you an apology if I owe you that. So let's go to it. He stated, before I could pull my phone out and get to the message so we could read it together, he already know I ain't disrespect him. Right. So he get louder, everybody coming, jumping in the middle, wanting to break something up that ain't even really, but you about to make it happen. Now my homeboys looking like, and I just had to leave, bro.
Now, see, when you listen to that story, family, there's thousands of other brothers out there that got the same story.
Yes, sir.
But not with the same solution. And that's what I want to just kind of transition to. And I just want to remind our guests that, you know, you listen to our big brother, the founder and CEO of the King Carter Youth Foundation, our big brother Blaze Carter. And you're on, of course, 1490 WMBM. It's not too late for you to let folk know here. And you all know how we operate, we roll. Some of you all might be triggered right now in a positive way, and you might want to call in. You can call in. The number is 1-888-599-9626. Again, 1-888-599-9626. Because this is real talk.
Yes, sir.
You know, what else is
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.